Look, we are about to go to a quick breather, but before we do, we wanted to start something new where we have a CFU college football update trivia question. Speaking of Arch Manning, we know he is a third. He is the third generation of the Manning legacy. We wanted to know: are there any other family legacies that span the course of three generations that made it to the league? We will answer that question for you guys on the other side. Tune in to my guy Anton Benson, Awesome Artist. We'll be right back. Yeah, buddy, that was my guy, Anton Benton of Awesome Artisans. Definitely check him out. He lives in the Virginia Beach area. He will travel up and down the East Coast, and he travels towards the Midwest. Get in touch with him. Good stuff. Good stuff. So listen, before we left you and went on break, we asked a question. Arch Manning is a third generation of the Manning legacy. Are there any other family legacies that span the course of three generations? I don't see any comments in the fan group, so I'm gonna give it to you guys. Do you guys have any idea who some of the other families could be?
Third generation?
Third generation.
Whew.
The Golics. No, that was only two. And
I think that was only two.
second generation wasn't very good, so.
I mean, there's like 100 of them. It's got to be the Matthews, right?
Yep, that's one. That's what a lot of people calls the first family of it because it was Clay Matthews Sr., Clay Matthews Jr., Bruce Matthews. Then Clay Matthews. Yep, Jake Clay the third. They had like 7 of them in the league.
Yes.
Absolutely. That also is the correct answer.
I believe Philip Rivers' son was on NC State's campus here recently working out.
Which one?
Yeah.
The oldest. Sorry, the oldest of his 10.
Golly, my guy. Me.
I might be able to just go from one Rivers to the next here in the next couple seasons.
The river keeps flowing.
The Matthews family was the biggest, like the biggest, like, oh yeah, those guys were legit.
Yeah.
I can't think that's what makes it so crazy.
Yeah. Eric, what you think? You got any guess?
No. Other than Alex guess with the Matthews, and of course, if Arch turns out to be what we all just said we thought he was going to be, nobody's going to think about the Matthews anymore. Yeah.
Right. So the only other two families, there's this Arch will be the third if he gets to the league. The only other families, there's 3 other families: the Matthews family, the Suhi, Matt Suhi from the Bears, his dad Steve. His dad Steve played, and then their dad Bob Higgins played back in the 30s. And then a name I don't know, the Pines, George Pine, the second played in I believe the 50s. George Pine the third played 20 years later, and then Jim Pine played. So there's only 3 families to this point that have 3 separate generations that have made it to the league. So hey, kind of crazy stat. Like Will brought it up that this could be a very unique situation. When have we seen 3 generations go to the league, and if things go the way we think they're going to go, have success in the league? And I mean, once Arch gets in the league, guy gets a Super Bowl, then all of a sudden you're saying 3 generations of quarterbacks that have won a Super Bowl or something like that. You know what I mean? So the stories and the stats and the facts are just going to come out. It's going to be great. But that was our college football trivia question. We're going to go ahead and move on. We appreciate you guys being here with us on College Football Update.